Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Kodeations coming at you today with another video on Cookie Run Kingdom. And today we've got a special one for you guys. We're going to be bringing you guys the top cookies that you should be investing your experience in 100%. That is right. So I've done a lot of research over the past couple of days. I have basically read every single cookie's skills in this game. I can't even tell you, and I don't even like to read. So if that tells you something. So basically, we've done a lot of research. I'm going to be bringing you guys the top cookies that you should definitely not feel bad about investing into. And then not only that, we're going to cover a little bit of what makes them very good. And then not only that, we're going to dive into a little bit of understanding the epics versus the rares and that sort of thing. So without further ado, before we dive in, if you are new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest mobile games, then please be sure to smash that red subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you get notification every time we drop a video. And with that being said, let's dive right in. Diving right in, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing we're going to be doing is breaking down the individual cookies into different classes. So the first class we're going to be taking a look at is going to be that of the tank class. So let's hop over here to our cookie section in the game, and then we're going to break down exactly who I think you should definitely be investing in if you happen to get them and summon them. So the first one we're going to be talking about is going to be none other than, obviously, the milk cookie. So if you don't already know and you're not in the community, everybody currently right now is raving about this cookie. And for a lot of different reasons. I mean, not only that, I mean, he's just ridiculously good. I mean, he's going to be a defense unit. He's a tank unit. And what do you want in tanks? Well, you want a taunt ability, and you definitely want a unit that's going to be able to mitigate as much damage as possible for himself and for other people. So this is what you got. He's going to be causing area of effect damage. So he's going to be doing damage not to only one enemy, but multiple enemies. He's then going to have an taunt ability, which is going to attract all of the enemies to attack him, again, mitigating that damage from all of your other ally cookies. And not only that, last but not least, he's got, while he does that taunt, or this ability is active, he basically reduces the incoming damage for himself. So again, Milk Cookie, top of the line. Do not sleep on Milk Cookie. 100% recommend. If you happen to pull him, that's who you should be using. I don't care who you're using right now. If you get Milk Cookie, you should be swapping him in no matter what, hands down. Now, the next one up that is arguably, just as good in my opinion, and that is going to be the Night Cookie. So I know he's of the rare class. He's not in a epic, so he's a lot easier to obtain, but in my opinion, he's going to be a cheaper, kind of like a poor man's Milk Cookie. And that's going to be because he has a charge ability where he basically, jumps out into front of the line. He causes area of effect damage. And not only that, he has a taunt ability. So the only thing that you're really missing is that damage mitigation or taking less damage for himself that Milk Cookie has. And not only that, he's a rare unit. So you're going to be able to promote him a lot easier and a lot faster than you will somebody like Milk Cookie. But keep in mind, this game does a very good job about allowing you to utilize epics the moment you summon them, because you can pump up their skills, you can level them up, you can add rune, toppings to them. You can do a lot of things with epics right off of the bat, just like you can rare cookies. So again, do not sleep on an epic just because you don't have copies of them to promote them, because the promotion is going to come long term, and it's going to take a lot of time, or a long time, to get to that point, including for your rare cookies. So you should be utilizing your epics as soon as you pull those bad boys, especially if they are good. But like I said, that's going to be my second runner up for the tank. Now I know some people would argue that what is her name? Madeline, maybe that's how you say it, but nevertheless, they would argue that she is a really good tank. Again, I'm not saying she's a bad tank. I'm not saying don't build her or run her. If you have her, then definitely use her, but she's got a ability here called Celestial Light. Again, not a bad ability, but I don't think it stands up to par whatsoever to somebody like Milk Cookie and or Night Cookie, because Night Cookie, in my opinion, is just a poor man's Milk Cookie, but nevertheless a very good unit to build. Now moving on to the next category, and that's going to be healers / support class. So if we're talking specifically healers and support, Herb is going to be 100% your best friend. He's OP. There's no other healer in the game right now that is going to out heal Herb. And not only that, just generally over the course of trying to build team compositions and that sort of thing, you're going to find out that you can't run a crap ton of support classes and still do enough damage to clear the stage. This is where Herb comes into play. Taking a look at his skill here, turns the ground into a wonderful little garden. And then guess what? Not only does he have a AoE heals, he removes all debuffs. So he has a full team cleanse, which is ridiculously OP. So, and restoring some HP for everybody on your entire squad. So he might be healing a little bit less than a single target healer in the game, but nevertheless, overall, AoE heals your entire team members, not just one or two or a couple. And then not only that, he has a full-on cleanse. Herb, there's nothing else more to say. He's just absolutely OP. If you happen to pull him, that's going to be your main healer. And not only that, even if you don't pull him, that's who you should definitely be using as soon as you do get him. But an honorable mention, again, like we've been doing, is going to be none other than Custard Cookie. So Custard Cookie is going to be a very, very good unit, and 100% you get him free in the game, which is obviously a plus. You're already going to have a copy of him. Not only that, they do have an event currently going on for Custard Cookie that just basically wants you to utilize Custard everywhere through all aspects of the game. So don't feel bad about investing in him. Not only that, his kit is actually very, very nice. He's got it's kind of like a single target, but it actually heals 2 individuals. So it says heals 2 cookies with the lowest HP and also cast a short living barrier. So basically cast a little bit of a shield. So he's going to heal the 2 allies with the lowest HP, which is what you want in a healer. You don't want them wasting the heals on somebody who doesn't need it. So he's going to be able to offer your team some sort of healing at the beginning of the game. And not only that, he's going to offer that barrier. So when you start to get to harder content in the game and you can use a little bit of extra heals, or maybe you could use that little extra damage mitigation with that shield, definitely do not feel bad about investing in Custard and running him on a team composition. Again, I can't stress that enough. He's free. The game gives it to you. The current event right now that's got a lot of rewards wants you to use him. So definitely get in there and use him as much as possible and do not feel bad about it whatsoever. So moving right along here, the next one up is going to be none other than the mage category. So yep, if you haven't guessed it, the developers have put the best, in my opinion, the best mage in this game on day 1 in the first banner. Okay, I know, I couldn't believe it either, but they threw Espresso Cookie in here on the very first banner. Espresso Cookie by herself doesn't really shine, in my opinion. I think she definitely needs some AoE damage dealers to make her really, really shine and make her that OP mage in the game, because if you were looking at mages in general by themselves, I definitely think somebody like Licorice would overtake Espresso 100%. But Licorice, where Licorice falls off is she doesn't have really anything to offer other units. She's pretty much a selfish unit, and because of that, Espresso tops her, in my opinion, on my list. But Espresso, what her skill actually does, it's a black hole. It does AoE damage, but it basically sucks in all of the enemies into that designated black hole area, so basically just joins them all together. And like I said, that's going to be where having AoE damage dealers really comes into play here. Those AoE damage dealers are going to be doing all of that damage into a small area. That's AoE damage, right? They're going to be doing that, but it's going to hit all of those enemies because they're sucked into that black hole, aka Espresso's skill. Why she is definitely number 1 on that mage category, or magic user, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, don't sleep on Espresso, really, really good. Also, too, currently right now, we are running cooldown on her, basically trying to, so she could use that ability a lot more. A lot of people would run attack on her. It just really depends on what you want to do or how you want to play it. But like I said, I haven't dove too deep into the toppings yet. We'll have some guides coming out on toppings as soon as we find out more. But Espresso is going to be the number 1. Now, if you haven't already guessed it, because I've already mentioned them, that is going to be Licorice is going to be our second magic user. And that's going to be because if you don't already know, Licorice, yeah, even though they are a selfish mage, they also provide tank. So if you don't have Night Cookie, if you don't have Milk Cookie, and you're just trying to use whatever you've got, you did pull a copy of Licorice, throw them in, because they are going to provide the tanks for you. So then you can potentially add some more damage. Maybe you can need some more support. You can add another support, whatever you need for your team composition. They're really, really good. Basically summons Black Lightning and Licorice Servants. The potent spell briefly increases the party's defense, and not only that, as you level up the skill, summons Licorice Servants with 3% attack buff, 150% defense buff, 50% HP, plus 20% defense for 7 seconds. So again, absolutely ridiculous. These servants are super tanky, really tough to kill. So again, do not sleep on Licorice, a very good unit. Like I said, that's going to be number 2 in the mage category. Now, moving right along, we're going to sum up this last section kind of in just DPS roles, because I could dive it into, you know, getting down and dirty with like ranged and ambushed and charged and support. You know, I don't want to do that. Instead, what I want to do is I want to just kind of sum it up into some DPS units that you should definitely be looking into and not feel bad about investing in. And the number 1 on that list is going to be Tiger Lily. She's going to be of that epic category, but like I said, the epics in this game you can use on only summoning 1 copy, because the promotion is going to come over time. So check out her skill. Charges forward on the back of a tiger, causing damage to nearby enemies and stunning them. That is OP, because it's CC, it's crowd control, basically controlling the enemies in any game whatsoever, especially in an RPG like this, is going to be crucial to just absolutely obliterating and annihilating things. If the enemies can't get off their abilities, can't get off skills, they can't move, well, guess what? They only have one thing to do, and that's to take damage and eventually die. So 100% really good unit. And then it also says, while this effect is active, this cookie deals more damage with her, and she does it faster, so her speed increases and her damage increases on her regular attack. So again, just a very good DPS. Do not sleep on Tiger Lily. So like I said, that's going to be number 1 on that list for DPS. Now, the next DPS we're going to be talking about, and that's probably going to be it's going to be a toss-up. It's going to be a combination, but in my personal opinion, I think it's going to be Purple Yam Cookie. Now, again, this is just me being a content creator and testing out what I was able to test out and get early game, and that's going to be Purple Yam. He does a whirlwind ability. Basically, they call it a tornado here, but if you've ever played any other game that's got a whirlwind ability, he does this spinning maneuver where he just does a massive amount of AoE damage for, you know, the entire time that he's spinning. And like I said, this guy pairs extremely well with somebody like Espresso, because Espresso sucks all the enemies in. You pop off his ability, boom, he's just hitting all of his enemies, just doing a massive amount of damage to all of them. Shout out to Purple Yam, man, because I tell you what, I wouldn't be able to make it as far as I have in this game without that guy. The next one up we're going to be talking about is going to be Dark Choco Cookie. So again, a lot of players have mentioned him. He's very good. Don't sleep on this guy. He's going to be basically strikes the ground with his great sword, inflicting chain lightning upon enemies. And then so it basically says those unfortunate affected by the dark lightning suffer from great damage and lower their defense. So again, very good unit. Another AoE damage dealer, but he's going to be doing chain lightning to multiple enemies. So again, very good. And last but not least, we've got on our list that I want to mention for you guys is going to be none other than Wolf. So again, they're all 3 going to be from that epic category, but he basically changes into a wolf, as a werewolf should do. Changes into a werewolf. He increases his own HP and increases his damage, but then not only that, he's going to double strike on his regular attack. So the guy is just a absolute mad lad when it comes to AoE abilities. And so, like I said, again, pairing him with somebody like Espresso is going to be ridiculously good. The team composition is just insane of the amount of damage output that you can put. And not only that, like I said, he's getting that additional selfish buff for HP and a little bit of attack. So definitely do not feel bad about investing in Werewolf Cookie. But that's going to be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I just wanted to bring you guys some cookies that I absolutely wanted to highlight that you guys should be building if you happen to summon them, and don't feel bad about doing that. And like I said, and just remember that tip I said, epics in this game are 100% usable on only summoning 1 copy. Do not think that you have to bench them coming in from other games where legendaries, for instance, are like the top of the line, and they're great when you get them, but you can't really do anything with them because you don't have the mats to level them up or do anything. This game is completely different. You could use the epics on day 1 from summoning them, and I highly recommend you check out these cookies if you have been sleeping on them. But that's going to be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. As always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get a notification every time we drop a video, and I will see you guys in the next one.